Hello everyone. As she introduced me, my name is Anna Bissell. Does anyone recognize my married name for perhaps a household item that you all know? That's the one. I'll tell you about it in a moment. I was born in 1846 in Nova Scotia. My father was a sea captain, and when I was a young teenager, my family and I relocated to DuPage, Wisconsin, where at the mere age of 16, I exhausted all possible educational training available to me, and I was already a school teacher. At 19, I married Melville Bissell, and we moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan, where I was a joint partner in our china and crockery business, which was fairly unheard of at the time. A wife was normally a little bit of a bookkeeper or a secretary for her husband, but never quite a joint partner in the business. We moved to Grand Rapids a few years later for a little bit better business opportunity, as it was a larger city. 5 years later, Melville invented a wonderful machine called the Bissell sweeper. You may be familiar with that. I had been complaining about the sawdust that was getting into the carpet from the factory. It would get in there and no amount of sweeping or beating the rugs would get it out. So he invented a machine that would suck up all the sawdust and dirt and things that got trapped in the home. And I loved this machine so much, I became a traveling sales lady for it. You could say my husband was an early proponent of happy wife, happy life. I sold it all over the Midwest, and each machine we sold for $1.50 a piece. When I was in Pennsylvania, I even convinced John Wanamaker to carry it in his department stores, where I then went back to our company and oversaw all of the details of the manufacturing and shipping of them to his store. In 1884, a fire took over our manufacturing plant, destroying everything. On my good name and handshake alone, I went to local businesses and banks and was able to procure enough funds to have us up and running in 20 days since the fire. In 1889, after my husband's untimely death, I became CEO of the company. I was CEO and president from 1889 until 1919, and then from 1919 on till 1934, I was a chair on the board. As a mother of 5, I dealt with the grief of widowhood by keeping myself busy with the company. I was involved in the Women's City Club. I was trustee of my Methodist Episcopalian Church, and I spent time helping others less fortunate than myself. This gave rise to a place called the Bissell House in Grand Rapids, which was a recreational and training facility for young, losing my words.
Unfortunates.
Well, yes, immigrant women, as I was when I was younger, excuse me. For young immigrant women in the Grand Rapids region. I was also the sole female member of the Men's National Hardware Association. And I must say, at the time of my death, one of the most flattering things that I heard about myself was that I studied business the way other women studied French. And Mr. H, you are not the only salesperson in the room, I'll remind you. I have just the thing to pick up all the crumbs that are left after we get out of here. So I'll show you guys my model as well.
Thank you.